Hello, this is Brenda Gagne with Results 513. In this video, I'm going to answer one of the questions that I get a lot, and that is, hey Brenda, what would be a great conversion rate on my capture page? And I always have to come back with this one answer of, well, hang on there. It really depends on where your prospect is coming from, what type of strategy you're using, what people are seeing, and what kind of is your goal. There's a lot that actually goes into it, and it's not just a simple little answer. And thankfully, this would be the third time I've actually done this video. I've already done this whole entire video twice. My computer has completely frozen up and lost the sound. So I'm really hoping third time is the charm right now. And you know what? It doesn't matter how good or how long you've been doing this, stuff happens. All right, so with that, I really want to go into, honestly, I really want to go into why this is such a big deal, because a lot of people get discouraged that they're getting these leads and they're not getting any sales, or maybe they're not getting any leads, and so there's no way they can make sales, and they don't quite really understand the process. And so that is my goal with this video today, is to help you understand the process behind why it matters where your prospects come from on the type of conversion that you're going to get through your websites. All right. Now, the first thing I want to say is that if you're brand new coming through here, it doesn't matter where they're coming from. It doesn't matter what, just go out there and pick something. That's really what matters. Pick a strategy, throw it out there, and just get some results. At Results 513, we're all about results, and we're always telling people, just go out there and try something. Don't get stuck in fear mode and just, it's just too much inside. Just go out there and do something. It's so much easier. It's never as bad as you actually think it's going to be, and then you have something to work with. You can't ride a bike by reading that book, and you can't market online by just going through a bunch of tutorials and wondering if it's going to work. Just go out there and do it. Okay, so that's the first thing. But now let's say you've done this, right? You've done some marketing, you've tried some Facebook ads, maybe you've done some blogging, you've done some solo ads, and you're getting different results, and you're really not sure what to do to help yourself get more leads and get more sales. So that's what this video is about right here, okay? So I'm going to give you a perfect example. The easiest example right here would be on solo ads. Now, if you don't know what a solo ad is, basically you're kind of like renting somebody's list, and maybe you don't have a list of your own, or maybe you just want to get some quick leads to come through, or just test some sites, right? So you just write a little email copy, you send it out to someone, and they say, okay, here, I'll mail that out. So usually you're paying for clicks. Maybe like you buy 100 clicks, and you'll see how many people opt in. That's how many leads you're going to get. All right. Well, there's two different philosophies that you can actually do if you're doing a solo ad. One of them is to be like, I want to get the highest conversion I can. I'm going to buy 100 clicks. I want 80 people to actually opt in, and I want to get 80 leads out of that 100, which is an 80% conversion rate, which would be amazing, by the way. Highly unrealistic. So let's shoot for 50, all right? Let's shoot for 50 on that one right there. But you're going to get a bunch of leads that have come through, and you do that by solely doing curiosity clicks. People aren't really sure what's on the other side. You've done a great job of just getting them intrigued. They opt in, and they go over and be like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, but I'm not interested in this, and nobody buys. All right, so you got a lead, but nobody buys. 50 leads is great, but you know what? You don't pay the bills with your leads, right? You pay the bills with the money. Let's do a flop of that. Let's say, you were very particular about the type of person that you wanted to actually click on that link. You paid for 100 clicks, and so in your ad copy of the email that you write, you do a pretty good job of deterring people away from actually clicking, or attracting specific people to actually click. And when they click and they go see your page, you know what? Maybe you get about the same conversion rate, even maybe a little bit lower, but you're getting a lot more buyers at the end of the day. They came through, and that's why they were there, and they bought. So in that case, let's say you had 50% conversions over here, and you had 20% over here, versus no buyers versus 30% buyers. It really depends on what your goal is and where people came from, and to determine actually what the conversion rate is. All right, so let's take another little example to help kind of make this well-rounded. Let's go with blogging. Lots of people are out there blogging, or even doing videos, face-to-face. You're putting some value content out there. All right, so no matter how people get to your site, that's traffic. We're going to talk about traffic. We've got a cheat sheet, triple your traffic cheat sheet that you can get that's going to help you with those traffic strategies. But once people get to where you are, and they get to that capture page, it really just depends where they came from. If they came from your blog, They clicked through and they chose to find your website. That's awesome. That means you did a really great job of giving them value so that they can go through and want to learn more. Those type of leads are usually the ones that are going to go through and have better conversions because you did a great job of engaging them and they want to learn more. Even if you add the video aspect, like this is on a blog, but this is a video right here, you can see my face, you can see my expression, you can hear my tonality. There's a little bit more of emotion that goes into it and engagement that you can actually get those viewers to say, hey, this person's cool. I want to learn a little bit more about them. What do? They could help me. And they're going to click through or opt in and go through and join your world. You want them to do that. But what it also means is that you probably won't have as many leads, maybe as much conversion as if maybe you did a direct response type of ad, coming from like Facebook pay-per-click or something. That's where it's direct response, instant response. People see it, they're like, yeah, that sounds cool, I want to know about it. They get through and they're like, oh, you know what, that's kind of cool, but that's not for me. Right? You're going to get different levels of conversion. So hopefully that's kind of making sense right there to you on why it kind of matters where your prospect is coming from and what your actual goal is to determine the conversion rate of how well your funnels are actually doing. At the end of the day, it's sales, and if you're not making sales, you got to go back and figure out why. Are you getting leads? If you're getting leads and not sales, well, where's the breakdown coming from? Are you getting a lot of people clicking on your ads, or a lot of people looking at your blog post, or a lot of people viewing, but you're not getting any leads? Those are all different scenarios of different breaking points that you got to figure out why. And the one thing I can say about that is the one thing you can do to make that a lot better, and most people don't do this. In fact, like 90% of people don't do this. If you're going to do this, you're going to put yourself way ahead of the learning curve, way ahead of all your competition out there, is you actually need to look at your funnel and do one thing. You need to completely detach from it, no matter how many hours you spent working on it or how much money you paid for it. You need to detach yourself from it, take a step back, put yourself into your customer's shoes. Put yourself in their shoes from where they came from, and as they go through, as they click on from your ad, as they click through from your post on Facebook or from Instagram, are they going through it in an experience that makes it completely clear from point A to point Z how they want to move through? Or is it a little bit choppy? Or is there maybe a little bit of uncertainty? And you know what you want them to do, but they're really not quite sure because it didn't quite make sense and they're not in your head. It's a skill that's very, very important, but sometimes hard to do. So maybe if you can get like a great friend that knows nothing about this to say, hey, can you go through here? And if they're confused or anything, to go through and tighten it up a little bit, that's going to help your conversions a lot. Okay? The other thing I really want to get across to this point right here, because a lot of people have a lot of issues and have trouble with this, is if you're marketing on social media. And by social media, I mean Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, any of those. I really want you to take a step back and say, why are people there? Before you go out there and say, how do I do my marketing? Think, why are people there? All right? And honestly, are people there on Facebook to go buy something? No, we're going to take Facebook right now because that's like the number one. I mean, Instagram's certainly coming up there, but right now Facebook is still definitely the number one platform on social media. People are not there to buy stuff. Now, do people buy stuff? Yes, but they are not there for the sole reason of buying something, which means you got to do one of two things to get them to convert really well coming from social media. You need to do one. You need to shock them with value. They've gone through and you've done such a great job of knowing who your perfect avatar is, that's your perfect buyer, knowing so well what they need and what they want for the problem that they've got in their head, that as they're just scrolling down, it jumps out at them. They're looking at cat photos, they're looking at funny videos, they're looking at jokes, but all of a sudden you caught their attention because you did such a great job of targeting down that they're interested in what you have to say, and they're going to go through. The other thing you need to do is what social media is. It's the shock and awe. You got to shock them out of what they're doing, because what are they doing? They're escaping from their reality right now. They're in the zone. They're just scrolling through, escaping from whatever it is that life's got them down from, all right? You got to shock them out of that. You got to do a funny video or a funny picture. You got to get them out, and that's more of the curiosity. But if you can flip it right around into why you want them to be on your site, then you've done a great job, all right? So just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of put a lot of different things out there to make you think about, where is your person coming from? What's your goal with how they're getting to your site? And what's your goal on your capture page or your landing page or your squeeze page? They're all the same thing. and to keep them as congruent as much as possible. If you've got a personality online, then your page should be branding you. If you're whimsical and, a social butterfly out there and they come to a page that's just very stagnant and monotone, it's going to feel off. Versus if they came from a really informative post and it gave lots of value and they go to this page that there's like nothing on it, it's just going to feel a little bit off. And if things feel a little bit off, they're going to be gone. You got about 3 to 5 seconds to keep their attention, and you want to keep it as much as possible. Okay? So biggest tip, conversions really can take different angles depending on where people are coming from, and whatever you can do to detach yourself from being emotional about what you've created or what you've paid for and step into your customer's shoes to keep them all the way through having a great experience with you and your marketing, the better results you're going to have. All right, so if you're interested in trying to figure out, some of these traffic strategies to get people to your site, like I mentioned, we have that Triple Your Traffic cheat sheet. It's completely free. You can opt in over there or over there, wherever it is on the site, and go ahead and click that, put your email in, and you can get that free. And if you're interested in, learning how to do a lot of these conversions and how to actually do some of the things that I've talked about, that's the stuff that we go over in Results 513, so you're more than welcome to take a look at that, and we'd love to see you inside our membership site and help you move your business forward. So again, this is Brenda Gagne. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.